What is a Young Life leader?
Young Life leaders build authentic friendships, earning the right to be heard.
Young Life leaders are people who care about teenagers in our community.
Young Life leaders get to be a light in the darkness in high school and college campuses.
Young Life leaders offer fun and adventure in the truth of the gospel.
But what does it look like lived out in our community? It's Monday morning. Brandon wakes up at 6:30, even though he doesn't have class until 11. He gets in his car and drives to a high school that he didn't go to pass out donuts and say good morning to kids. No high school student is in a great mood at 7:45 in the morning, but he shows up with a friendly face and a donut. He shows up because he cares. It's Tuesday afternoon. Katie kisses her own kid goodbye and goes to basketball practice after school to hang out with other people's kids. She does love this sport, but she's not necessarily showing up to teach her high school friends how to shoot free throws. She's showing up because she wants to continue to build friendships with these girls. She's showing up to say, "I'm proud of you," even when they've had a rough day of practice. She's showing up because she cares. It's Wednesday afternoon. Tanner texts some college guys to remind them about Young Life College Club tonight. Even though they have tests to study for and papers to write, they show up for an hour of fun on a Wednesday night because of their relationship with him. He has to be at work at 7 in the morning, but after club every Wednesday he sits with college guys until 10:30 at night, opening scripture and having real conversations about life and Jesus together, while the same thing is happening with a group of college girls down the hall. Young Life college leaders might lose a little bit of sleep, but they show up because they care. It's Thursday. Sophia has classes all day, like all day. She's a nursing major and has classes for 7 hours straight, then she goes to cheer practice. By the way, Young Life leaders do actually have lives of their own. They're student athletes, involved in other organizations on campus, have jobs, families, and friends of their own. Anyways, as soon as practice ends, she hops in her car to head to Young Life Club with her high school friends. She gets to laugh and play alongside them, and then at the end of the night, she gets to share the truth of the gospel with them through scripture. They lean in and listen because she has earned the right to be heard. After, she heads home to study for a test. It'll be a late night, but she showed up because she cares. It's Friday night. Most college students are heading home for the weekend or hanging out with their friends, but Young Life leaders are piling into cars to head to a local high school football game. Most adults stay far away from the student section on a Friday night, but Young Life leaders want to be right there in the middle of where teenagers are, in the middle of the chaos and even the darkness of their lives, whether it's the student section or anywhere else teenagers can be found. Young Life leaders show up in the middle of the chaos and darkness because they care. It's Saturday morning, time to sleep in and have a morning with her family. But a Young Life leader gets a text while she's making coffee. So instead, she picks up a high school girl and they go get coffee together. This is why Young Life leaders show up. The donuts, the games and practices and clubs, they're all great things, but they're pointless if they don't lead to something more. This is the heartbeat of Young Life, and it always has been. The something doesn't have to be club, campaigners, or even Young Life camp. The walls are down and the teenager is already won because of their relationship with a Young Life leader. The stage is already set for something, and it's this: to introduce teenagers to Jesus Christ and help them grow in their faith. It looks like this. And it's not just because they care, but it's because Young Life leaders have been transformed by God's love and they feel compelled to share that in the best way they know how.
So what is a Young Life leader? They're people a lot like you and I. But what does a Young Life leader do? They care. And it looks a lot like showing up, one day at a time.